What if the money so many people thought was gone for good just came back, bigger, bolder, and officially passed? In the last few hours, a major development has shaken up Washington, and it's sending shockwaves through millions of households that depend on SSI and SSDI. The $3,200 comeback bill is no longer just talk. It's real, it's confirmed, and for many recipients, it could mean direct payments that arrive when they're needed most. For anyone living on disability benefits, even small changes can have a huge impact. Rising rent, higher grocery prices, prescription costs that never seem to drop. All of it adds up fast. That's why this announcement is getting so much attention. This bill is being described as targeted relief aimed specifically at people on SSI and SSDI who have felt the squeeze the hardest. But here's where things get confusing, and where a lot of misinformation is already spreading. Not everyone will qualify in the same way, the timing matters, and some people may need to understand how this interacts with their existing benefits. So what does direct payments confirmed really mean? Is this money automatic? When could it arrive? And are there any conditions that could affect your eligibility or monthly benefits going forward? These are the questions every recipient should be asking right now, before assumptions turn into disappointment. If you or someone you care about receives SSI or SSDI, this is information you can't afford to miss. Hit the like button now so more people get the facts, not the rumors, and stay informed about what this $3,200 comeback could actually mean for your life. Now let's slow everything down and talk carefully about what this so-called $3,200 comeback bill really represents, why it's being described as a comeback, and why SSI and SSDI recipients across the country are paying such close attention right now. When news breaks with words like passed and direct payments confirmed, emotions run high very quickly, especially for people who rely on disability benefits to survive. That reaction is completely understandable because for millions of Americans, SSI and SSDI are not optional income. They are the foundation that keeps housing stable, food on the table, and medical care within reach. The reason this bill is being called a comeback is because the idea of direct relief for disability recipients has been debated, delayed, reshaped, and in some cases abandoned multiple times over the past few years. Many recipients remember earlier proposals that promised help but never fully materialized, or relief that was smaller than expected and arrived later than needed. So when word spreads that a bill has finally passed and that direct payments are confirmed, the natural question becomes whether this time is truly different or whether it's another wave of confusion that leads nowhere. What makes this moment stand out is the renewed focus on SSI and SSDI recipients specifically. These programs serve people who are often hit the hardest by inflation because their income is fixed and tightly regulated. Unlike workers who may see wages rise over time, disability recipients don't have that flexibility. When rent goes up, when groceries cost more, when utilities spike, the pressure is immediate and unforgiving. Policymakers are well aware of this reality, and that awareness is a big part of why targeted relief keeps coming back into the conversation. The $3,200 figure itself is drawing attention because it's large enough to feel meaningful, not symbolic. For someone living month to month, that amount could represent several months of rent, overdue bills finally paid, or the ability to replace essentials that have been put off for far too long. At the same time, it's important to understand that large numbers in headlines don't always translate into identical outcomes for every individual. Context matters, eligibility matters, and timing matters. One of the biggest points of confusion right now is what direct payments confirmed actually means. In plain terms, it suggests that relief would be delivered directly to recipients rather than filtered through complicated tax credits or long application processes. For SSI and SSDI recipients, that's especially important because many don't file traditional tax returns or don't have the flexibility to navigate complex systems. Direct payments are often seen as the most efficient and equitable way to deliver relief to this population. However, direct does not always mean immediate, and it does not always mean automatic for every single person. Federal systems still rely on accurate records, up-to-date information, and eligibility criteria that must be met. Even when payments are designed to be broadly accessible, There are often safeguards in place to prevent errors, fraud, or duplication. That means some recipients may see payments sooner than others, depending on how their benefits are administered and how current their information is. Another concern many people have is whether this type of payment could affect ongoing benefits. This is a very real and valid question. SSI in particular has strict income and resource limits, and recipients are understandably nervous about anything that could jeopardize their monthly checks. Historically, relief payments aimed at emergencies or economic support have often been excluded from countable income for benefit purposes, but every program is different. Assuming without confirmation can lead to unnecessary fear or, worse, unintended consequences. That's why clarity is so important right now. When information is incomplete, rumors rush in to fill the gaps. Some people may say the money is guaranteed for everyone on SSI and SSDI. Others may claim it's a one-time payment, while some insist it will be split into multiple deposits. Without official guidance, these conflicting narratives can create stress and false expectations. Staying grounded and focused on verified updates is essential. It's also worth talking about why disability recipients are often left out of broader relief efforts, and why that exclusion has been a growing point of criticism. During past economic crises, relief has sometimes been tied to employment history, tax filings, or other criteria that don't reflect the reality of living with a disability. Over time, advocacy groups have pushed harder for policies that recognize SSI and SSDI recipients as a group with unique needs. This comeback bill is being framed, at least in part, as a response to those concerns. For many recipients, the emotional impact of hearing about this bill is just as significant as the financial one. Living on disability benefits often means constant trade-offs and uncertainty. An unexpected car repair, a medical expense, or even a seasonal increase in utility bills can throw everything off balance. The idea that meaningful relief could be coming offers a sense of being seen and acknowledged, something that has been missing for a long time. At the same time, it's important to stay realistic. A single payment, even a substantial one, doesn't fix the structural challenges built into disability programs. SSI benefit levels remain low relative to the cost of living in many areas. SSDI recipients face long waiting periods and strict eligibility requirements. This bill, even if fully implemented as described, is a temporary measure, not a permanent solution. Understanding that helps set expectations and avoid disappointment later. Another aspect to consider is how payments might be delivered. Many recipients receive benefits through direct deposit, while others still rely on paper checks or prepaid cards. Delivery method can affect timing significantly. Those with electronic deposits often receive funds faster, while mailed payments can take weeks. This difference can lead to confusion and anxiety as people compare experiences and wonder if something has gone wrong. Scams are also an unfortunate but predictable side effect of breaking news about money. Whenever headlines mention confirmed payments, bad actors move quickly to exploit hope and urgency. Calls claiming to process your $200 payment, messages asking you to verify your social security number, or emails demanding fees are all red flags. No legitimate program will require you to pay to receive benefits or ask for sensitive information through unofficial channels. Protecting yourself is just as important as staying informed. For caregivers, advocates, and family members, this is a critical moment to stay engaged. Many SSI and SSDI recipients rely on others to help interpret mail, manage accounts, or make financial decisions. A calm, informed conversation can prevent panic and ensure that any required steps are handled correctly and on time. It's also important to acknowledge that not all disability recipients are in the same situation. Some live independently, others with family. Some have additional state-level assistance, others do not. Cost of living varies dramatically depending on location. A $200 payment may feel transformative for one person and merely stabilizing for another.
Starting right here.
Both experiences are valid, and neither should be minimized. As details continue to emerge, patience will be essential. Large-scale programs rarely roll out without adjustments, clarifications, and follow-up guidance. Early reports may change as agencies release official instructions and timelines. Staying flexible and open to updates helps avoid unnecessary frustration. What matters most right now is understanding that attention is finally being paid to the financial strain faced by SSI and SSDI recipients. That alone is significant. Whether this bill delivers everything people hope for or not, it represents a recognition that disability benefits have not kept pace with reality. Recognition doesn't pay bills, but it can be the first step toward meaningful change. If you're receiving SSI or SSDI, the best thing you can do in this moment is stay alert without panicking. Watch for official notices, keep your information current, and be cautious about unsolicited contact. Talk with trusted sources, not rumor-driven posts. Knowledge is protection, especially when money and benefits are involved. This situation also highlights why ongoing conversations about disability support matter so much. Temporary relief is helpful, but long-term stability requires broader reform. Programs need to reflect real costs, real lives, and real challenges. Until that happens, moments like this will continue to feel both hopeful and uncertain at the same time. As we move forward, understanding the facts behind the headlines will make all the difference. Who qualifies, how payments are structured, and how benefits are protected are questions that deserve clear answers. Staying engaged ensures those answers reach the people who need them most. If this breakdown helped you feel more informed, more grounded, or simply less overwhelmed by the headlines, make sure you like this video so more people receiving SSI and SSDI can see it, understand what's happening, and protect themselves as this story continues to develop.